November the 17th, 2023, Everton were hit with a 10-point deduction. Today, they received 4 back. I'm joined with Lee to discuss it further. Lee, how are you, mate?
Um, well, I heard the news earlier on today. I was played delighted, like any other Everton fan. But as the day went on, I'm kind of questioning at the same time. It's kind of stuck in the back of my head. Like, should he just took the 10 points off us and left us at that? But the Premier League kind of had to decide just to make it look like it's kind of to make themselves look a bit better.
hmm
In a way, it is stupid, but look, happy with 4 points back. But then again, what are they going to hit us with next?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, to be honest. I was expecting points back. Well, I don't know. To be honest, I think I just gave up really thinking about it because it was all everyone was thinking about. But after after today, the 4 points, do you know what? Like after all the build up and stuff, I was just a bit like underwhelmed, to be honest. It's like, oh, yeah, we've got 4 points back. So it's a 6 point deduction now. Like you said, we've got another one, which I think has to be done before April 18th or something like that. So
Yeah.
if we're gonna get another deduction, it's gonna happen this season, which is the annoying part.
But to see, like, you kind of look at at this in this way, and you think at the same time, like, how can they hit you with 2 point deductions in one season
hmm
after appealing one, they got it wrong, and then it's coming back again to like, right, here's another way you have to take points off Everton Football Club. Like, and at the same time, with that second charge that we have against us, like, majority of that charge is over what we're already after getting done for.
hmm
If you get me in that sense, but like, I was watching Sky Sports News as I came in from work today, and it was something along the lines of the I think it's FR 51 or something like that. I think that's what it's called. Regulations.
Yeah.
It's financial regulations part 51.1. If a team is on over the 105 million, uh, over the 105 million, how do you put it? I'm
Budget.
trying to think of the words. The
Yeah. Budget. Yeah.
budget, then they should be hit with a points deduction. Now, if you're turning around and saying that's the point deduction we're already after getting, why should we be getting more points against us? And then another thing, should they not just hit us with something else like a fine, a transfer embargo? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the whole thing. If we're gonna get another thing like you said there, it's over the exact same thing. Like 75% of it is because of the first charge, um, which is annoying. But we're always up until April or whenever it is, we're always gonna have that in the back of our minds anyway. Of we might get another point deduction, which is annoying, but there's not much you can do about it. I think at the moment, just got to be like, okay, yeah, we've got the 4 points back. Be happy with it. I mean, some fans were like expecting 10 back, but we did admit to doing something wrong, so we're not going to get
Yeah,
all 10 back. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, in terms of the second one, I think Forest are looking at a heftier punishment than us, but it's just nice to see Everton out of the relegation zone.
yeah. As a fan for the, like, both of us, if we can kind of speak for both of us here, it is nice to see. Like, it's a bit of breathing space. We're out there. We're not in the well, but we still are in a bit of a fight in the dog fight, but we're not as bad as where we were yesterday or last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, regarding kind of putting it into perspective of Forest's um Forest situation, like Forest fan situation, or Forest the club's situation, you kind of look at it and say, like, what, like, how are you supposed to get out of this in one, like, in one situation?
Yeah.
Whereas we're getting terrorised and scaremongered to go into the end of the season on eggshells, waiting for another charge to drop.
hmm
It's kind of scaremongering as well. Like, I'll get into another part of it, but about the kind of agenda that most fans think they have against us. I'll get back into that now in a few minutes. But for one, the scaremongering part of it for towards fans and towards players, it'll shoot players' confidence, probably the manager's
Oh yeah,
confidence as
definitely.
well.
Yeah.
And they'll have to kind of put on a brave face because of that. And then another thing as well, um, like other teams around us, they breached the rule way before us. They didn't
Hmm.
get investigated until this was brought up. They didn't get court hearings until this was brought up, and they didn't get points taken off them. At the same time, one of the main points in our kind of situation, our appeal, and what has happened was that we gained a sporting advantage. That was one of the points that were brought up. Now
Hmm.
we haven't won a cup, and I don't know how long. As fans, we that's angering us and frustrating us. But with the amount of money that was put in, we didn't make any sporting advantage. Whereas you look at the likes of City, they win the league every year. And
Exactly.
that there's a sporting advantage there right up front of your face, and it's just like it's blindsided, it's thrown away, and forget about that for a while. It's
Well, I think that the scaremongering point is a good point because there's been a lot of articles over the past few weeks and months suggesting that the punishments are going to go further or whatever. Just daily articles, not mocking, but scaring. That's what it is.
yeah,
It's scaremongering, and Forest aren't getting the same treatment. They're not, getting these articles wrote about them every day. I sort of think Forest have been forgot about in terms of like the media point of view. Um,
yeah,
but seeing them articles every day as an Everton player and as Everton manager and the staff and the owners, it's not nice to see, is it? It's not nice to come into work and feel like the media knows more what's going on at your own club than you do.
exactly. I'd say now I don't walk behind the scenes. I'm not a player. I'm not a manager. I'm not a coach. And nothing to do with Everton Football Club other than a fan. But I can only imagine half of that stuff that they're going through. Like, imagine coming into work. I'd say it must be exhausting.
Yeah,
Like, genuinely exhausting coming into work after the media had something to say to you. Or probably tonight, you'll probably have a small bit said on Monday Night Football where you're coming into work the next day or you're coming into training the next day as a football player and you're like, Jesus, will you ever just shut up for a few minutes, leave us alone, and probably get back to it in a few months' time? Like, this is probably going to go on for the next, 2 months until the next hearing is.
oh yeah,
And it's just, it is scaremongering, it's exhausting, and it's keeping a lot of pressure on players and managers and staff. It's getting ridiculous.
yeah, and people always repeat, go back to like, oh, it's the modern game. They just need to toughen up and stuff like that. But this shouldn't be an on the pitch matter. This shouldn't have
No.
anything to do with the players. This shouldn't affect the players in any way. But it already has. We've had
Yeah,
a deduction which has directly affected the players and directly affected the fans for something, that weren't an on pitch matter. Now that's like I said, it's gotta be hard for the players, for the manager and stuff like that because yeah, like you said, Lee, you're coming into work every day and it's just it's like Groundhog Day, innit? It's the same thing
mm,
over and over again. Um, and now for the next 2 months, it's going to be the same thing over and over again. And if there is a punishment, the appeal process over and over and over again. Um,
yeah.
and to be honest, I think a lot of people are just bored of it now. Like I think the whole thing was bored. I think at the start it was a bit like, oh, this is new. This is sort of like new to not new to football, but it's it's different. This is like this doesn't happen regularly. Now,
It's
no one can be asked.
it's new to kind of like Premier League football. Like, I know it's already happened in the past, but it feels new to Premier League football now as it is. Like, with especially myself and yourself. Like, you're younger than me, as we both know. That because we look like bleeding a 40-year-olds with 3 kids and a mortgage. But you can see this is the first time it's happened in your age
Hmm.
that you really know anything about.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas, who was it? Was it Wimbledon or Coventry when I was younger? I can't remember who it was. The
I think
team went into administration.
yeah, Palace got a deduction as well, didn't they? Palace got a 10.1, I think.
Yeah,
But there's been a few clubs in administration, yeah.
but like things like that, like you'd see a point deduction in a league where you just expect most of the talking to be done on the pitch, and then
Hmm.
take a point off. It's just a fuzzy L kind of. It's a grey area in a way that the financial fair play came into it. It's not like people losing their jobs. It's not the clubs going down a sink and as a sinking ship. It's
Hmm.
more to do with the financial part of the club, and that shouldn't be brought onto the pitch. Nobody at that club wants it to be brought onto the
No.
pitch. It's people above players' heads, above fans' heads that have made the mistakes,
Hmm.
and it's just kind of like, yeah, all right, Grant, we got 10 points deduction, we got six taken off us now. That's not going to hold my pocket.
Exactly, yeah. Like you said, it shouldn't have anything to do with the players, really, should it?
No, no.
But the original deduction did not make any sense, and I think this has just proved a lack of incompetence and proof that it needs its own regulation or whatever. Um, because they've admitted, that the legal process went wrong, which shouldn't be happening because this is like the biggest stage of football. This is a massive
Mm,
thing, and there's literally no room for error, especially in that department where it's an off-pitch matter which shouldn't affect the players, but it is affecting the
yeah,
players. There's no room for mistake there, and there's been a mistake, and it's been corrected today. But even
yeah.
still, no pointed, no off-pitch matter, no stadium matter should have anything to do with the players, and
Mm,
it's definitely without a doubt took a toll on the players. I think the first few weeks it was we're up for it, we're against Everton, against whatever, everything like that. But now it's just like this is just defeating, isn't it? No one can be
yeah,
asked anymore. No one, even I myself, I get bored of watching the footy. Like it's just,
yeah,
it's, and that's not an Everton thing. That's not the players being shit or the manager lacking ideas. It's them taking the fucking joy out of it. It's boring.
yeah. Now, I had a few things like come up over the past few months as when we got deducted points. Like a few ideas. I don't know whether you could call them conspiracy theories or
Hmm.
what you'd like, but like it's a few questions that like I'd like to ask yourself.
Yeah.
Like regarding the point deduction that's happened to Forest and Everton, or that's happened to us as a club with the whole kind of back off the the Super League and the Big Six and this like that, this, that, and the other. Do you feel that maybe they're trying to get rid of the founding teams of English football?
Um, I don't.
Because at the same time, when you think of it, like Aston Villa are on that kind of line where they could actually be done for financial fair play as well. So maybe they're keeping that in the back pocket.
Maybe. That could well be the reasoning, but like for me, I just th- like they could leave. Don't get me wrong, and
Yeah,
to me, it looks that way too. But what's the logic behind? Why don't they want us? You know what I mean? But I feel like it's sort of who's not bringing in revenue. You know, maybe we can just get who's putting a bad eye on the league really. Um,
yeah,
Protests every week and chanting for your own and out and all that. That's not a good look for the Prem. You know what I mean?
no,
As much as we want to do it, as much as we need to do it, it's not a good look for the Prem. So I think, yeah, get them out. But the problem is, like, I don't like referring to like the Man City case and stuff and the Chelsea case. But
no,
if so, for example, let's say if Man City, get the on paper the point deduction for the charges that they've been given, they're out of the league straight away. They're out of the Premier League. Who comes in to replace them? Leicester, Leeds. Do you think
Yeah.
Leeds and Leicester are going to make anywhere near as much money as Man City? They're not.
No,
They're
and
just
see
simply not.
that's the thing. Like you've seen it over the past. Like I don't know whether it's us as fans or people around the world as fans, where you can turn around and just actually take a stand. How are you going to stand up to them? Because at the end of the day, it's our game. It's the fans' game. It's whoever, whatever club you support for the majority of your life, all your life, wherever you have it. It's all about them. It's not about the people in suits trying to ruin the game.
Mm,
It's not about them. Like, yeah, all right, financially they help the club, but do they care about the club the way they go on? Probably not. It's the way they do it, and you look at it this way. Right? Here's another good example. You look at Legia Warsaw this week. You see what they done.
mm-hmm.
UEFA kicked out most of their fans, and he says, "Look, thanks UEFA,
Fuck
you
you.
won." And then said, two fingers up. Have a look at that. We're all
Mm-hmm.
in here now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's how can you actually go against them? How can you put a fight up against? We've tried protests, we've tried banners, whatever, flying over other stadiums during games, whether it's sticking up a yellow stick or beyond the Premier League anthem at the start of the game. Like, what more can you do with them seeing it? You'd
Yeah.
need them out.
See, Lee, the problem is a few clubs owners won't want to go against the Premier League. A few clubs
Yeah,
owners are in the back pockets, and it's quite obvious at this point there is some sort of corruption. I don't know whether this got massively just brushed over and the carpet was thrown over it, but the Sheffield United manager spoke in an interview and he said, a Premier League referee has told me get ready for every decision to go against you. Now that shouldn't be happening. And
no,
he got fined for it, and it went as published as it should have been. Because that's a massive statement to make as a Premier League manager. So that's proof right there that there's corruption. There's some form of corruption going on, and we should be hearing more about it, but we're not.
yeah.
So,
Like you have the likes of UEFA, you have the Premier League turning around with this financial fair play, fair play, this fair play that. There's nothing fair about that. That statement, there's nothing fair about that. They expect every single decision to go against you. Like we're living in it. We're living in that as a fan base and as a club. Jesus, we haven't even got a penalty this season. It kind of goes to show like there's no fair whatsoever fairness in the game and the Premier League at this level for smaller clubs whatsoever. And another thing I actually wanted to bring up as well, you were saying there earlier on, changing the rules in the Premier League, the financial rules in the Premier League to try to get some sort of stability probably
hmm
on it. But the stability is not going to work. I read up on it that I would say they're planning on a 75% of what your turnover is to be able to spend. So let's say we make 100 million. We're only allowed to spend 75 million of that. So how is it going to be fair to the clubs actually coming up from the championship?
yeah, it's not. It's not, Lee. Um, but I just feel like there's no real structure, is there? No one knows what's going on. Like
Yeah,
no one knows the actual rules of anything because we shouldn't know because no one at the top knows. If that today, the fact that we even got points back shows that they have no clue what to do.
yeah,
We shouldn't have got points back. They should have held their own and says we made the right decision, but they didn't. They came out and said we made the wrong decision. They don't know what they're
yeah,
doing. No one knows what they're doing, and how can we understand football? How can we watch football and understand the rules if the rule makers don't even know the rules? It
exactly.
doesn't make sense to me, Lee. It doesn't make sense to me. So the title of the video is "What's next?" What is next on the pitch?
On the pitch, well, hopefully, as a fan, as an Everton fan like yourself, you hope to see some sort of response. You hope to see the crowd change a little bit. That they got some sort of, I don't know, some sort of kick from
hmm
that. because as you're saying in results of lately and games lately, the likes of we had a midweek match against Crystal Palace and James Garner brought it up that they were getting booed off the pitch. You'd want to see that a bit uplifting, a bit more uplifting in the
Yeah,
fans, and
yeah.
then hopefully be able to kick on from that. Like personally, I'd love to go on that kind of run that we went on where it was in Newcastle, Chelsea, after getting the points taken off us, and be able to say, right, now try and relegate us. Now take off another 16 points or whatever you need, because then you can actually see the corruption that they're trying to get rid of us or
Mhm.
other teams like that when we have enough points after getting a deduction to stay up. Do you want to take more off us to get rid of us? It's what's
Yeah.
up, what's next, Rhiad? Genuinely, I don't know. I don't know for a club, but I really hope there's some sort of positivity in a
I,
way.
I can't blame the fans for. I said this on a different podcast after the game. Um, the Palace at home. Yeah, Palace at home.
Palace at home,
I can't blame the fans for booing the players off. I can't because it was right. They were shit.
yeah,
There was
yeah,
no,
yeah,
there was nothing there. There was no, putting Palace on the back foot, pressing, fighting. There was nothing. So, you boo the player in the game. I'm against that because that's your team. You're supporting them for 90 minutes after the game. Yeah, boo them off. Let them know they've been shit. And
yeah,
professional footballers should be able to take that. Should be able to take responsibility. Go, yeah, we've been shit. We'll take this dick just as much as when we're singing for them, when we're doing
yeah,
protests for them, and all that. If you can't take the shit, don't be there for the good stuff.
yeah.
So,
Now I agree with you there as well, but now my point that I just brought up there wasn't like I'm against you on that. Like I am 100% with you. Like
hmm
for instance, say I be coming over to games. I don't know in how many years, and over the past 3 seasons, I just want atmosphere as well. When you're at the game, you want a bit of atmosphere,
yeah,
and then you go through these patches where fans start to go against the club a small bit or against the players on the team on the pitch. Now, fair enough, they have completely and utterly every kind of how do you put it? You have every right to bill if they want. I genuinely probably be billing myself, but
hmm
at the same time, you don't want to go to a match and notice that atmosphere. You don't want to be billing your
absolutely
team.
not, absolutely not, absolutely not. But I said, well, Paul Brown, the Paddock Blues said. The first 5 or 10 minutes of the game sets the atmosphere. The first 5 or 10 minutes of a game, the players should be going out on the pitch and putting the other team on the back foot. They shouldn't be
Yeah,
reserved and chilled and easing into the game. Fuck that. Go and throw a
yeah,
2 footer. Let them know you're there. Get them on the back foot. Win a corner. But it went like that. So them first 5 10 minutes, you've got to get the fans up for it if you want them to sing for you, and that's the way it's always been. When
yeah.
they say, "Oh, I've seen a few fans saying, "Oh, if I was there, I'd be singing for 90 minutes." So when Tarkowski's passing it back to Jordan Pickford and we're passing it round the back, you're going to be singing. You're not, because you look like a tit. Let's be honest. No, no, you're not going to sing and chant "Spirit of the Blues" when Tarkowski's made the 5 yard pass back to the keeper. It's not how it works. The players have got to do something to get the fans going. If they've been shit, boo them off, and if they've been good,
No,
sing them off. That's fine.
fucking Shagat Tarkowski bleeding 5 yard pass back into his
Exactly.
bleeding keeper. No,
hmm
you can't share it. You can't. You genuinely
Exactly.
can't. And people pay hard earned money to go see a match. Like,
Exactly.
if I was to fly off for that, I'd have a choice, or I'd have a right to bill people, or
Oh
bill
yeah,
players off
absolutely.
the pitch.
Absolutely.
Like, I would now, but it's not what I want to do. I have a right to do it.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know?
You you paid to go to the game, lad. This is something fans like the only thing in their lives. It's something they look
Yeah.
forward to all weekend. I know I say it a lot, but that's it. That's just their lives. And
Mm,
if you're not putting up a performance which is industry standard in the Premier League, and you're walking around the pitch and not putting tackles in, not even working hard. Get you, yeah, boo. You should expect to get booed off because you paid
Yeah,
hundreds and thousands of pounds a week, you know, to play footy, and if you're not doing it to the bare minimum standard that you're expected to, then for that amount of wages and that amount of responsibility, you should go, okay, yeah, I've been shit. And look, I like James Garner, but to come out and say, oh, the fans shouldn't be booing us off the pitch. Yeah, they fucking should. Yes, they
yeah,
should, because yours was shit. Like that Palace game was honestly awful. I know we had Brighton on the weekend, but back to that Palace game, it was just shit. Like I can't go. Oh, I can't disagree with the fans because if I was there, lad, I know I'd be booing them off. But
yeah,
just them midweek games and then like games, it's gonna go one or two ways. It's gonna be silent the whole game, or it's gonna be rowdy the whole game, and that's down to the
yeah.
players, however they want to do it.
And you have past footballers as well. This is the kind of thing that boils me blood down. At the same time, you have past footballers that turn around and say Goodison Park is one of the worst places you can go to play a match. But it could also be one of the worst places to go if you're an Everton football player as
Hmm.
well. Like if the fans are on your back, the fans are on your back. Like there's nothing you can do about it. But there is something you can do about it. That's what you think. That there is nothing you can do about it. There is something you can do about it. Put a
Yeah,
fucking challenge in. Go try. Bring the ball forward. Shove the ball down the opposition's throat. And if you start dilly dallying and not doing that with the ball and not doing that during the game and just basically look like you're playing for a nil-all draw, obviously the fans are going to be on your back.
absolutely, absolutely. Like me personally, I don't have much else to speak about. So if there's anything you want to talk about to wrap it up, I'm just a bit drained really from Everton. If there's anything
Yeah.
you want to say, I'm more than happy to discuss.
Um, is there anything else we want to discuss? Nothing comes to the top of my mind other than that. Actually, there is one thing. The, Now, we are talking about performances there, and I wanted to say this. The Brighton game, the
Yeah,
Brighton game that we had during the week, this is one thing I don't agree with. See the way fans can turn around, you're 1-0 up, and they turn around and say, right, Grant, kill the game off, or either go for the second goal. They're against 10 men. You kill the game off. If you go and put the ball down Brighton's throat and try to go for the second goal, they counter attack and score. What are you going to
exactly.
say?
And Lee,
You're
and
going to
how many times have we seen that? How many times have we seen Everton do that?
What Everton? Like we were. I remember one time we were 2-0 up against Newcastle.
Exactly,
5 minutes left.
exactly,
5 minutes left. He scored two because we were
exactly.
putting the ball up the pitch.
And it
Like
happens a lot, even when we're losing. Like specifically, I Man United at home a while ago. It might have been under Ancelotti, and we're just all out attack, trying to get a goal, bang, counter attack. Newcastle at home a few years ago, and even Newcastle at home when we were getting beat 4-0. But this,
yeah,
I don't get how people can criticise Dyche for this. If you're winning 1-0 away from home against Brighton and you're Everton now, it's like especially the time that we're in and the state that we're in, and you've got a one goal lead. Bear in mind, we don't get goals very often. We don't fucking score, lad. So
yeah,
you're doing everything to keep hold of that lead. And I don't think Dyche has turned around to the players and went, all these sit back. No, I just think the players naturally think, we're winning 1-0, let's just, try and keep this
take something
lead.
from it.
Yeah, you just naturally try and defend your lead as any sensible manager would. Now, if Dyche would have turned around and went, go and try and kill that game off, go and run and score a second, it's not going to happen because
Yeah,
we barely ever score. To prove it to you, our goal scorer was fucking Jared Brantwaite, our centre back. You know what I mean? When have you seen our strikers score? It's not going to happen. I think the sensible thing to do there was sit back, and we did. And unfortunately, it didn't
it
pay
didn't
off.
work.
But I'm fine with that. I'm fine. But you can't please some fans.
No, 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 no. But like it goes back to the same thing that I'm just at the saying. Like, how can you turn around and say, "Go kill the game off, get another goal"?
Hmm.
Oh, go on, that kind of little bandwagon. How can you go onto that and then let's just say, for instance, say Brighton score anyways on a counter attack. First thing, we should have set back.
Exactly, exactly. You can't win.
It
Like
does. It doesn't work at all.
it
And
doesn't.
another thing that I'll add to that as well, we can't score goals. Like you said, we can't score goals. At best, two fucking strikers. Sorry for coursing. At two centre halves.
Exactly. Michael Keane and Jared Brandtwaite. There you have it, people. Our best two strikers, the two centre halves, and I don't disagree with that one bit because put Michael Keane up top and he fucking bags. I'll tell you that
Yeah,
now, honestly. But Lee,
absolutely.
thank you very much as always, mate. It's been a pleasure. Unfortunately, we have to speak about Everton. But what can you do, eh? What can you do?